Yo, what is going on, guys? Got some pretty ridiculous clips for you here today. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's just jump right in and subject ourselves to the suffering. Don't forget to subscribe, leave your thoughts, and let's take a listen.
I'm 27 years old in a corporate job, and I do not know how to spell. Okay? Because I'm from the generation where I'm in 5th grade, and I had a laptop with spell check on it. That's ridiculous. So now I'm 27 years old, listening to podcasts on how to sound out words and how to spell, because I don't know how.
Am I the only one who thinks that these women who record TikTok videos at their corporate day jobs are incredibly weird? You know what I mean? Like, I see this so often where they just sit here and they record rather than actually doing work. Okay, that's why she's whispering, I assume, so that her boss doesn't hear her making her stupid TikToks. Rather than actually doing work, they just sit here and record videos to, I don't know, like 3 people. It's just insane to me, man.
Mind you, I'm educated. I have a bachelor's and I cannot spell.
Yeah, so this is the point in the video, guys, where a lot of people kind of just, you know, that we've all come to the understanding that oftentimes education these days means absolutely nothing. This is an individual who can't spell, and yet she considers herself educated because she has some degrees. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of people who actually lack some critical skills, whether it be life skills or just regular skills, and they consider themselves educated because they have a piece of paper. It's actually crazy.
Ask me how to spell any word. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And if I can't spell, I know my little sisters who are a generation behind me. They can't spell either. We're toast. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you very much for that clip, madam. Let's just move on. Hopefully I can forget that that woman even exists. Let's continue on to the next one here. Having every man running after you. So I don't know if this is some sort of dating coach. We all know what I think about female dating coaches typically over here. So let's see how she does. Let's take a listen.
You'll never struggle again when it comes to dating and relationships when you understand this one thing. How you see yourself is a direct reflection of how other people see you, how men see you, and that also dictates the way that they show up for you, how they treat you.
I mean, that's not true at all. Okay, there are so many women who walk around, they think that they're perfect 10s. Okay, they think they are God's gift to the planet, and yet men find them insufferable. Men don't want relationships with them. Men don't want to take you out on dinner dates. They don't want to talk to you. You know, guys, there are plenty of women out there who they think that they are the best thing since sliced bread, okay? And they cannot get a husband. So riddle me that. How does this work? Because I always see these videos of like, oh, you have to perceive yourself as just the best thing ever, and then other people are going to perceive you the same way. It's like, no, maybe they're just going to think that you're narcissistic.
See you, how men see you, and that also dictates the way that they show up for you, how they treat you. If you are tired of being in situationships, you're tired of men not wanting to commit, you are tired of poor treatment, listen up. We all know that one girl, one friend that naturally has men obsessing over her. She always has plenty of men chasing after her, giving her princess treatment, spoiling her, doing the most for her, and she doesn't even do anything. She just simply exists, and this happens for her. It's not that she's born under a lucky star or that it's because of her looks. Yes, your appearance plays a role in this. What really makes people obsess over you and gravitate towards you is your energy.
I'm sorry, guys, but I genuinely find these women to be incredibly creepy. You know what I mean? Like, what is the point of having so many dudes, like trying to get so many men obsessed with you? You know what I'm saying? By the time a woman gets to this point, guys, where she actually needs to try to get attention from men, it's already a wrap. The game is already over. Anyone with a bit of common sense, guys, understands that women have an incredible amount of power out there dating. They have a huge amount of options when it comes to men. And so when you have women getting on TikTok talking about how to make men obsessed with them, you already know something is screwed up, right? And typically it's the women who are making the videos. Okay, because what they're actually talking about is the men that they want don't want to have committed relationships with them. And so they complain about it and they try and get these men obsessed with them. At the end of the day, a lot of these men that these women are pursuing will never want anything serious from them whatsoever. Let's continue.
People obsess over you and gravitate towards you is your energy. And your energy stems from the way that you view yourself, your self-concept. She is getting that kind of attention because she has a high self-concept. She thinks really highly of herself.
Yeah, guys, because that's the type of woman that the average man wants to date. You know, someone who just thinks so damn highly of themselves. Here's the problem, guys. I have nothing against, you know, a bit of confidence, right? I think self-respect is great. I think boundaries are great. I've mentioned this on the channel before. But oftentimes when women hear this stuff, they essentially just turn into complete narcissists. You know, they think that they're the best thing ever. They think that men are lucky to have them. They become incredibly narcissistic, and they think that this is the way, you know, this is how they're going to get that man to commit to them. All that this does is drive men further away from you because they don't like to deal with people who are incredibly self-absorbed.
She thinks really highly of herself. She has herself up on that pedestal. She probably is obsessed with herself. Therefore, other people, they mirror back that energy right back to her. And that's...
Yeah, guys, can't wait to date a woman that's obsessed with herself. That sounds so enjoyable.
When they start to obsess over her because they're like, there's something different about her. She's so special. There's something so different about her. It's not that she's different. It's just because that's the way she sees herself. People are just mirroring that back. This is a universal law, so it applies to both the negative and positive. If you're someone that views themselves in a negative way, you talk bad about yourself. You tell yourself, I'm so ugly. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants to talk to me. You're decreasing your perceived value in your eyes. Therefore, people, they mirror that back to you, and then they start to view you that exact same way. That's part of...
I love how these women always think that their problems with dating Chad can always just be changed. You know, these problems can be fixed just by aligning the cosmos and changing the way that they think. You know, guys, obviously changing the way you think is a very smart thing to do. You know, if you want to develop yourself into a more well-rounded individual, okay, changing the way you think, the way you approach problems, sure. But I just love how in all of these videos where women are trying to lock down Chad, there's never actually any talk of what a man might be interested in. It's always like some mental thing that the woman has to do, and usually it just revolves around being more narcissistic. No actual work, right? No genuine changing of yourself into anything more positive. It's just you have to view yourself higher. I find it endlessly funny, guys, how women's dating advice essentially just revolves around how far can you get your head up your own backside. I wish I could word that more politely, but that's really what it is. It's just how you need to become as narcissistic and as self-obsessed as you possibly can, and this is the best way to attract men, apparently. And just by the way, guys, I said this earlier on in the video, but if a woman has to deliberately try and gain additional attention from men, that says a lot about the quality of the woman, to be honest with you.
They mirror that back to you, and then they start to view you that exact same way. The best part about this is nothing is set in stone. You start deciding today that you are the type of woman that men obsess over. You are now that girl. You are now that friend that has men obsessing over her. That's what your reality is going to give you. If you're ready to make this shift, comment manifest, and I will send you the details below.
Oh my goodness. So we're selling courses on manifestation, guys. Just I think that we're ready for the earth too, you know what I mean? I think we're ready for the fresh restart. I'm more than prepared for that, because holy hell, we now have, guys, to top off the wondrous landscape that is TikTok, okay, the digital landscape that is TikTok, we now have manifestation coaches. I can't wait. I'm going to bed after this video, and I just can't wait to forget that these people even exist. I'm so excited to forget that these people even walk the face of the planet. Let's continue into the next video here. Dating as a Latina. Let's take a listen.
Why don't you have a boyfriend? Let me tell you my type. Latino. Is in the indie alternative scene, likes to go to those kinds of shows, likes to listen to that kind of music, but also appreciates Spanish music. So likes bamba, someone I can take to my family parties. We can be in that scene, we can enjoy the music, dance. Spanish is a big plus. You need to be able to talk to my parents and communicate with them.
Let me just stop you right here. Okay, women will make videos like this and they will try and convince you that they have like a list of things, that they're like this special, unique snowflake. Okay, their taste in men consists of some very unique attributes. And then if you fulfill these things, then she'll just fall head over heels. I guarantee you guys, if you had some dude who was not highly attractive, right, who was just some average Joe off the street, and he could speak to this woman's, excuse me, my headset's going flat, and he could go out there and he could speak to this woman's parents in Spanish, it wouldn't change a damn thing if she's not attracted to him. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, oh, my man has to do this. He has to be capable of doing this. He has to love dogs, and he has to love this particular type of flower, and he has to be into gardening and all of this crap. And the thing is, if you're not attractive to her, none of this stuff even matters. This is the problem, guys, is men will be handed like this map from women, okay? And the map will say, go out there, do these specific things, and then I will like you. And what happens is men will go out there, they will follow the map, and then they'll realize it's all complete nonsense because the entire time these women are just hooking up with dudes that they find attractive anyway. You think Chad, right, as a placeholder term for a man who's highly attractive, you think these highly attractive men have to be able to speak fluent Spanish to her parents? No, it's complete nonsense.
Spanish is a big plus. You need to be able to talk to my parents and communicate with them. Isn't machista, is educated. Height is negotiable. You know, if you're my height,
oh wow,
2 to 3 inches taller than me, that's fine, I'll take it.
Wait, I thought it was negotiable, but you have to... Wait, so this is negotiable, right? But you have to be 2 to 3 inches taller than her. I mean, okay. I just find this funny as well, guys, how like so many times women will demand attributes, okay, that are not actually changed. Like the attributes that women care about that they oftentimes don't mention as much on videos, they're completely unchangeable by men. A lot of it comes down to genetics, you know, height and facial features and so on and so forth, right? But I just find it funny how they will require these things from dudes. But if I come out here and I say I don't want a woman who's overweight, then people just lose it. They just completely lose it, right? They say that you don't like women, that you're a terrible person. So it's just funny to me how women are allowed to have preferences, even if those preferences exclude people by default, but not even based on their own actions. But I'm not allowed to sit here and say that I don't want a woman who's overweight because somehow that offends a bunch of women, you know?
2 to 3 inches taller than me, that's fine, I'll take it. But yeah, I basically want a unicorn.
Yeah, so at least she knows that she wants a unicorn. This never stops the women from pursuing these dudes, by the way, right? They think, it's funny because you'll say to a woman like, hey, the odds of finding your dream man is 0.2%. And all the women here is like, oh, so you're saying I do have a chance. And they will still go out there and try and get these guys anyway, because all they hear is that they actually have a chance with their dream man. They don't care about how unlikely it is. They don't care that these men oftentimes just want to hook up and nothing else. None of it matters. We have the blinders on until we are 32 years of age. And then we will start to accept men who have to, you know, they have to uphold this way higher standard now when you're 32 because they're not as attractive and you need to have kids and you need to get married. Complete scam. Let's continue into this next clip here, meeting in person.
Main reason I think you should be meeting people in person, not on dating app, is because when you meet someone in person, so many events had to take place just for you and this person to come across each other. Like the stars had to align for you two to meet.
We are like 5 seconds into this video and I am just already exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm out of mental capacity to deal with this nonsense. Like imagine this woman's boyfriend or husband, okay? He comes home from a hard day of work and she starts yapping about like stars aligning and just talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's like, relax, okay? It's fine.
So in my opinion, the people that you meet in person, those are the people that throughout your journey of life, you're supposed to be meeting. Those are the people you're supposed to be dating. When it comes to dating apps and Instagram and all of that, it seems very forced, not natural. Like, those aren't necessarily the people you're supposed to be dating. You're kind of forcing it to happen. I get it. I know some people have met their person on those things. I'm not saying this is 100% true, but for the most part, I think when you let nature kind of take its course, you meet people who either are your soulmate, help elevate, guide you in some way, and push you towards your path in life, whether they are your soulmate or they're not.
I wonder if this woman, with all of her whimsical advice here, I wonder if she has a husband and if she's found her quote-unquote soulmate. Guys, I'm sorry, soulmates, that term is completely stupid. It doesn't exist. Women have been handed like 50 soulmates and they still are single. You know, I find it funny because women will get on here, they will talk about soulmates and stuff. And the problem is they've already ignored their soulmate a whole bunch of times already. I also find it funny because I would be willing to bet that this woman who is making this appeal to, hey, we should meet people naturally, I guarantee you this woman has met a bunch of dudes off of like Tinder, Instagram, all of these social media apps. This woman absolutely strikes me as a social media person. I mean, the least of which, I mean, she's recording a TikTok video right now, so that should kind of tell you what you need to know.
Path in life, whether they are your soulmate or they're not, you were supposed to come across this person. Because it's crazy when you think about it. When you think about some of the people that you've met, it's like so much happened for you two to meet. Been thinking about this one for a bit now. So my advice, go out there, meet people in person. And I rarely leave the house and I was able to do it, so you can do it too.
Okay, so I don't know. She says she was able to do it. What do you guys think? Does she have the husband? Does she have her Prince Charming? Bigger question, do you think it's going to last? Me, I'm voting for no. But I don't really have a lot of faith in the TikTok women's ability to get and retain a husband. Color me skeptical, guys, but I just think a lot of these women are incredibly unpleasant. Speaking of unpleasant, let's continue into the next clip here. Let's see what's going on.
You hate men, you're still obsessed with them. If you avoid certain styles or dress certain styles or wear birthday makeup, whatever that is, because it bothers men, you are still making a decision with a male reaction centered. Whether or not that male reaction is positive or negative doesn't matter. It's still the function of your behavior. There are so
Why are we yelling? I'm not even following what this woman's saying, guys, because whenever I have these people start yelling at me, I just tune out, man. I just instantly... What are these people's problem? Do they have like a bucket load of caffeine or something before they record the videos? Because this is just... I thought the previous woman was bad. I was making a comment about like, oh, imagine being this woman's husband or boyfriend and you return home after a long day at work and you hear all of her comments and she's just so annoying. This one is like that times 10. Holy hell, man.
There are so many trends on here that are framed as like a hashtag feminist win. Trends like these, or like loosely misandrist posts. And like, yeah, they're funny and I get it. And like, I'll giggle at them. But every single thing is about fucking men. Oh my God. Like casual contemporary feminism being defined by doing things to spite men or make them mad because it's funny. Guess what? It's still about them. Acting in opposition to something still centers the thing you're opposing. Like I get that the structure we're in is designed by men for men. I'm studying sociology. That's all we talk about.
Oh my goodness. Studying sociology, that is all you talk about. You see, this is the problem that I have with modern day education, guys, is like a lot of these degrees and things, essentially it's just indoctrination trying to convince women that they're highly oppressed and that everything men do is to make their lives worse. You know, like these women will go through university or college or whatever you call it in whatever country you're from. You know, they'll go through these places. They'll get so indoctrinated and then they come out the other end and they just think that men are these evil, awful creatures, you know, who set up these evil systems to oppress these women, which just, by the way, guys, society has been designed to protect women for a very, very long time. But, you know, of course, we don't see that, do we? We see absolutely none of that. Society bad, men create problems, men start wars. You know, there's never any thought to, hey, maybe all of this drywall behind you was put up by men. Maybe your entire house was built by men. Everything you're wearing was built and invented by a man. There's none of that. You know, no gratitude, no understanding that men have done literally everything for this woman to be in her current position. It's just men bad, right? And that's what she talks about. That's what she talks about in her classes that she attends and goes in large amounts of debt for. Interesting.
Something still centers the thing you're opposing. Like, I get that the structure we're in is designed by men for men. I'm studying sociology. That's all we talk about. And naturally, it is hard to decenter them when all the institutions we're exposed to are reminiscent of that structure. But
Stop yelling, woman. I'm just pausing the video, guys. We're just taking a 2-second break. I'm exhausted listening to this woman. I feel like, you know, this video goes for like, what is this, like a minute and a half or something? You know, I think I've aged at least 40 times that amount of duration while listening to her.
still, making everything about men is not hashtag feminist or empowering. It's exhausting. Unconcern is so much more powerful than hate or spite. If all you do is think about how much you hate guys, you're not top feminist. You just must be tired. Oh my God. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the most liberating and empowering thing you can do just decentering them? When I pointedly replaced my misandry with a total lack of care, it freed up so much cognitive space that I became significantly happier.
All right, I can't do it anymore. I literally, guys, there's a few seconds left of the clip. But my sanity can't actually tolerate it. All right, let's continue on to the next one here. Holy hell. Small things husbands do to show their wives that they don't care. I remember this woman. I think we've covered her a few times, different clips from her. I don't know if she has a big TikTok. I would assume so, because I've actually seen this woman pop up a few times. But this woman is divorced, absolutely doesn't like men, doesn't like husbands. I mean, to be honest, I don't think many people like her in return. Let's take a listen. What is she driving? I'm not sure here, but she's got the phone in front of her, recording in her car. Let's take a listen.
Here's another thing that men do to show the women in their lives they don't actually care about them. They will walk ahead of you in most cases.
Wait, so I can't, if I had a wife, which I don't because getting married is a scam, right? But if I have a wife and I walk in front of her, then that's showing that I don't care? That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
This is something my husband did a lot, and when I would ask him to slow down, because I would be like nearly running to keep up with him, he would always tell me, "You walk too slow, walk faster."
Do you ever think that maybe you walked slow? I don't know. So I think what she's saying is, the dude, if your husband is in front of you and he's walking too fast, then that means that he doesn't care about you. Do you ever think that maybe the guy actually has a point and you just walk slow as hell? You know, guys, I can spot the slow walkers, and I would say that this is certainly a candidate that we're looking at right here. I don't exactly trust this woman to be the speediest of walkers. I guarantee you, I would absolutely destroy this woman in any sort of walking competition where the goal was to walk as average a speed as possible. I guarantee you I would smoke this woman.
One time, very early in our marriage, he actually bought me a pair of shoes that were designed to help people walk faster.
There you go. Look, he's even trying to help your slow ass. And she's so mad about this. She's so pissed that her husband bought her these shoes. That's funny.
And, you know, he said, "Oh, maybe you'll finally be able to keep up with me." You know, I'm 5'4". He was 5. Was he 5'8" or 5'9"? But like, his legs are longer. His pace is, you know, his stride is longer than mine, and he could not understand that.
Well, thank goodness you've got the shoes now, you know.
And he just refused to slow down. One time, and he would do this everywhere, even if we were in unfamiliar places. One time we were on vacation in Key West, and he kept walking ahead of me, and I asked him, like, "Can you slow down, please? Can you slow down?" And he wouldn't. So I finally was like, "Okay." And me, like, we're tourists. I'm not walking dawdling, but like I'm walking and looking around at stuff because I've never been there before. And finally, I just let him keep going, and I kept walking at my pace. And a couple of times I would like stop and see if he would look back. No, he kept going. And then I slowed down. He kept going. And then I finally just crossed the street to see if he would notice. Kept going, and the whole time I'm keeping my eyes on him to see, like, at what point is he going to notice.
Okay, so let me just pause it here. I can already tell why your husband was walking faster than you. Okay, no expert analysis of walking speeds needed. This dude he just probably wanted to relax on his walk. I'll be honest with you. He probably wanted to keep a good distance from you so that he could actually keep his peace. So many women don't seem to realize this, guys. And like, I really don't mean to be rude when I say this, genuinely, okay? But so many women don't understand how much men actually value peace. If this man cannot go on a walk with you without you annoying him, which I guarantee you was the case, of course he's going to put distance between you two, right? So at least you guys can somewhat walk together. You're going to the same destination. You can keep rough tabs on each other, assumedly. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't want the headache of having to walk next to you. This makes absolute sense to me, to be honest. Like, I think the woman unironically is correct here. The dude doesn't care. He just wants to be left alone. He wants to have his peace, but at the same time he's got somewhere to be, and he probably has to he probably has to get you there as well, because he probably, make no mistake, he probably also has to direct you guys on where you're going.
It took something like 5 to 10 minutes for him to look back and look around. And then he finally spotted me on the other side of the street. I waved to him, and then he turned around and kept going. So if they just won't walk with you and no matter what refuse to slow down, they don't care about you.
Yep. You know, to be honest, guys, if I was married to this woman, which I absolutely never would be, I would walk so damn quickly. I would walk. In fact, you know where I would walk, guys? I would walk out of the damn marriage. We are going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.